Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Coffee and Crypto with me, Don, your host. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching today's video. Well, today is the day, as you've seen from the title of today's video. We have a big update from the Ripple lawsuit. Also, the trending kind of hashtag and news from last night was Fire Gary Gensler. So I'm going to cover a little bit about that, of course, and then touch on some China news as well. So some China and crypto news, which I have been going on a little bit about the past few weeks and on YouTube and on Twitter as well. So if you don't follow us on Twitter, make sure you do that, not to miss out on any extra kind of bits of news or kind of tweets that we put out throughout the day and the night. Now, like I said, there's a lot to get through. Once again, as I always say on these videos, it's a great episode ahead, so make sure that you're kicking back, relaxing. If you do have a coffee, I hope you enjoy this episode, and yeah, let's get cracked in. So first things first, let's look, of course, at the top 10 crypto, see what's going on in the market at the moment, and yeah, we'll see what we're looking forward to. For today at least, because there should be some price action today, but let's just walk before we can run. Now, Bitcoin currently sitting at 26,100, Ethereum at 1,752, BNB at $235, XRP up at almost 53 cents, Cardano at 28 cents, Dogecoin at 0.06, Tron at 0.07, and then Solana at $15. So most things in the top 10 are up around 2-3% on average. BNB is actually up just over 4%. But yeah, overall, the past 24 hours, we've seen a bit of positive price action. But overall, on the week, we are technically still down on most of these assets, of course, apart from XRP. But most of the kind of top 10 are down quite a few percentage over the week. Nothing to worry about at the moment though, but one thing I wanted to point out is the trending. We'll still have Pepe trending. Don't know why, because meme coins currently aren't really trending anymore. In fact, no, hang on, let me retract that, because Gensler, the meme coin Gensler is trending. Let me just bring it up here. Good Gensler. This was trending, of course, because of the whole Gary Gensler news. So this seems to be one of the only meme coins still making some sort of kind of move recently. But yeah, as you can see there, I think the 7-day chart looks a bit better. Yeah, so again, you'll see, hasn't really been doing much. But then as the kind of news dropped recently with Gary Gensler being fired and stuff, it has pumped quite significantly. Even on the monthly as well, it hadn't done much until the 5th, the 6th and the 7th of June, when Gensler had the SEC, had put out the lawsuits on Binance and Coinbase. We then seen this spike up and continue to grow as Gensler's been in the news more and more. So yeah, pretty interesting to see that it's essentially the only meme coin really doing anything, even though CoinMarketCap are still shilling Pepe, saying that it's still trending. But anyway, moving on then, let's get into the stuff regarding Ripple. So that's what we're all here to see. It's June 13th. I've been going on about it for weeks. You've seen it all over Twitter, all over YouTube for the past few weeks. June 13th is such an important date, and that's regarding the Bill Hinman emails or documents that are coming out today. So I'm not sure what time they're out at. I would imagine kind of later on, once obviously the US wakes up. It's still early in the morning for them. So yeah, we will see how today plays out. But Ripple CEO says that the Hinman docs are well worth the wait. That sounds good to me. Sounds pretty bullish to me. Now, with 1 day to go, this is obviously an article from yesterday, but the Hinman documents are due to be unsealed, and the Ripple CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, suggests the documents will be worth the wait. Now, in a June 12th Twitter reply to a question raised by crypto YouTuber, Garlinghouse said that while he did not want to overstep, both he and Ripple's chief legal officer, Stuart Alderotti, I believe. Again, you all know, if you follow this channel, I'm not great at pronouncing some words, all right? We're just going to go over it. We're all friends here. We're all in it to make money with crypto, not to judge me on my judgment of certain words. But we will continue to see the documents as being worth an 18-month fight to have them unsealed. So here's the tweet himself here. Jungle Inc. says then, any thoughts ahead of the Hinman doc release? We are all appreciate. Okay, no. Again, look, people come at me for saying words, but look at that. I wasn't reading that wrong, was I? We are all appreciate of Ripple fighting the important public disclosure. Yeah, that's definitely not right. Anyway, so Brad responded, wish I can go into depth now, but we've waited this long, 18 plus months. I don't want to overstep. Suffice to say that this man here, and I believe that they will be well worth the wait. Now, I don't know if the Brad Garlinghouse and the legal team have seen the documents directly or indirectly, or have had knowledge to what's in the documents. I would assume they have something. That's why they're going after them or whatever. But yeah, I would assume that they've either seen them or they've seen parts of them, and they know that it's just saying, they know that when they get released, it's going to play in their favour. So it would make sense to why Brad is saying this. Now, the Hinman documents refer to the internal SEC messages concerning a 2018 speech given by the former SEC Exchange Director William Hinman, also known as Bill Hinman. In the speech, Hinman said that while cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and Ether may start off as securities, it's possible for them to become something more akin to the commodity once they become sufficiently decentralized. Now, many Ripple advocates believe that the imminent unsealing of the documents will prove instrumental in providing further insight into the legal status of the Ripple's native XRP. And then the unsealing of the documents come at amid an extremely turbulent time for the crypto industry. June 13th will also be the federal court hearing for the SEC's motion to freeze the assets of the Binance.US. Following the spate of legal action against the exchange. So mentioned, when did I mention it? Yes, was it yesterday? I probably mentioned it every day for the past week, but June 13th was not just the Hinman docs, there was also about 4 or 5 different things happening from today and tomorrow as well, so it's such a big week in crypto. And so Meta Lawman, spoke about him a few times on the channel, but he is quoted here in his tweet, the next 36 hours will be crucial for crypto. So today, which I think was that was yesterday, at 5 p.m, Binance will file its opposition to SEC's motion for order freezing assets of Binance US. Tomorrow at 2 p.m, which is today, the hearing on SEC's motion to freeze assets. And then again, tomorrow, i.e. today, the release of some summary judgment exhibits the Hinman email. So again, I don't know what time they're coming out today, but I'm assuming they'll be in the UK. They'll be kind of afternoon at some point. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Now, the SEC first took legal action back in December 2020, as we all know. I'm not going to repeat it and bore you all. If you don't know, then you must be living under a rock, because it's been big news for the past almost 3 years. 2.5 years. But yeah, anyway, we've got a lot of things happening this week in crypto. As you can tell, I'm pretty hyped up. Not so much that I think the price is going to skyrocket. If it does, fantastic. I'm here for it. I've been holding. But I'm just more, again, I've been saying this to people in Discord. I've been saying it to anyone I've been speaking to over the phone for one-to-ones and consultancy calls or whatever, that I'm probably not going to be selling my XRP anyway, because I don't see it getting anywhere near its all-time high or even the sell targets that I've set. But the fact that we're going to be getting some crucial information that we've essentially waited, we've been held down, XRP's been held down for 2.5 years. The fact that we're going to get some sort of clarity or some sort of update from it all today, that's good enough for me. So yeah, let's see what happens. Again, stay tuned to Coffee and Crypto tomorrow, because I think tomorrow's episode will be juicy, as always. But yeah, stick around. Make sure you are part of our Discord community as well, which you would have seen when I first started the video. There's a link today in the description to join. But yeah, we'll be updating throughout the day, throughout the night, whatever it may be, with what's going on with these emails. And I'm sure it's going to be quite a busy day for us all, including all of our members in the chat room, who I'm sure, in fact, I've already seen this morning, there's been a lot of chat regarding the kind of document. So yeah, a bit of a hype day for us all. So yeah, if you do fancy joining us after this video, there's a link in the description below. And yeah, you can get signed up and we shall chat all things crypto. But yeah, other than that, we'll be on Twitter, of course, as well. Yeah, tomorrow and the next day on Coffee and Crypto. So yeah, plenty of content to get through this week, and it will all be focused around XRP, I'm pretty sure. Now, this thing here then, so again, I've seen this guy post quite a lot of good like graphics and kind of infographics for Ripple, has done for a while. I think it's not just Ripple he does it for a lot of kind of other projects and things in crypto. But this thing he's kind of posted here is 10 reasons I believe Ripple has a chance to win this lawsuit battle against the SEC. Now, a few points in there, pretty standard, pretty basic, and again, it is just his opinion. It's not kind of set in stone, it's not guaranteed. But yeah, pause today's video and read through them and tell me what you think of them. I won't go through them all because it's quite chunky, and I don't want you getting bored with me reading his 10 points. But a few of the points I can agree with and I can get behind, but they are just kind of facts about Ripple the company. I don't really know what that would mean for winning the lawsuit, but yeah, I wanted to show you anyway. But yeah, like I said, I'll make it larger for you on screen and you can read over it. So yeah, just pause today's video, have a read over it, and then drop a comment below and let me know, do you think that Ripple will win the lawsuit based on some of these points, or do you think they're going to win the lawsuit anyway, or do you think it's going to settle and there'll be no winner? Because a settlement for Ripple could potentially still count as a win in our books. So yeah, anyway, pause today, have a read over that, let me know what you think, and we shall move swiftly on away from some XRP news into some China news. So again, have been covering a little bit about China the past kind of week or two, and tweeting about how I think China will be the real winners from this whole lawsuit, not lawsuits, but regulatory issues that we're having in the US. I think China are going to step up, and it's all part of a master plan. So yeah, let me get a quick sip of my iced latte, and then we will cover, again, some interesting news, because it's China and crypto. It's not normally two things that are positive news articles to cover. So yeah, it's all shaping up quite interestingly, in the kind of Bank of China for a start, but also in China in general. So, quick sip of coffee, then we'll get back to the news. Okay, so on June 12th, which was yesterday, the Bank of China's investment bank subsidiary BOCA announced that the issuance of 200 million Chinese yuan, which is the equivalent to $28 million, worth of digital structured notes minted on the Ethereum blockchain. Now, the move makes BOCA, I'm not quite sure, the first Chinese financial institution to issue a tokenized security in Hong Kong. The investment banking company UBS helped originate the product for placement to its client in the Asia Pacific region. Ying Wang, the deputy CEO of BOCA, commented, saying that the working together with UBS, we are driving the simplification of digital asset markets and products for customers in Asia Pacific through the development of blockchain-based digital structured products designed specifically for the customers in the Asia Pacific. So, why is this such big news, and why am I telling you about it on Coffee and Crypto? Well, you may remember I mentioned it where China are famously known for, well, being against Bitcoin, being against crypto, telling you that crypto was going to kill you. Literally, like, that's not even me making that up. They literally said that you can die from crypto. Also banning Bitcoin mining, saying essentially that it will never be allowed in their country and blah, 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 blah. They just, every year there used to be a kind of meme where it would be, oh, China's banning Bitcoin. Like, it was always a thing. And now, the past kind of month or so, we've seen bullish news come out from China where they're actually publicizing crypto and letting people like openly accept and hold Bitcoin or different kind of cryptocurrencies. But me personally, I think it's all a part of a bigger plan. I don't know if it's been kind of pre-planned in the past and now it's all coming into action, but I definitely think it's a plan because the US are obviously driving everyone out of the country. And by everyone, what I mean is all the big blockchain companies, crypto companies are all being driven out. We've seen yesterday on yesterday's episode, the company A16Z, they are a huge kind of investment company based in the US, are now looking to move to the UK because the UK welcome Web3 and crypto, whereas the US don't. There's been loads, Gemini are doing it as well. I'm sure Coinbase are going to do it at some point. Ripple have got a few offices. I think they've got one in Abu Dhabi or Dubai or somewhere in United Arab Emirates. But yeah, most of these big brand companies are moving out of the US because of, well, Gary Gensler and the SEC being so corrupt and essentially ruining fintech for the US and for the future. Whereas China are like, well, we don't really like the US. We don't really like who's in charge. Well, do you know what? I think they do like who's in charge. I think they like that Biden's in charge because they can just do what they want and Biden's not going to do anything. When it was Trump, different story. You didn't see this type of movement happening, not just with China, but Russia and the rest of the kind of big countries in the world, because Trump was kind of partnered with them essentially, or made friends with them, or whatever it was, made peace. Whereas now, the past few years, we've seen Biden in charge, or at least Biden being the forefront of the government, and it's been an absolute uproar. The US has seen a massive decline, especially in the finance and crypto sector, and I personally believe China are just loving it. China are laughing at the US because they know that the person in charge isn't quite capable. And then you've got Gary Gensler, who's the head of the SEC, who was elected by the Biden Foundation or the Biden party as well. So they're all to blame. They're all friends. They're all to blame. But yeah, China is stepping up. They're seeing a gap in the market. They're seeing that people are leaving. They're offering, I'm sure they offered Coinbase actually, but they're offering a lot of big exchanges licenses in Hong Kong, saying, yep, cool, you're welcome over. Come over whenever you want. We're happily going to accept anything crypto related and we'll get you away from the US because it's trash, essentially. So yeah, China are taking all of the US's trade. They're going to stop using the US dollar peg eventually, I would say. And then also they're going to be taking all the crypto companies from the US as well. So yeah, the US are just ruining it for themselves and they're making it easier for other countries of the world, not just China, but they're making it easier for other countries to swoop in and take their market because the US market is humongous. It's one of the biggest countries in the world. And it's where the highest population of crypto users are pretty much kind of in the US. But it's massive in the kind of Asia network as well. But the US is a massive, massive kind of part that people can, what's the word I'm looking for, like plug into and steal the customers because of regulatory issues. So it's not looking good, bruv, for the US, shall we say. Now, is this going to work? There we go. So the US lawmakers that file SEC Stabilization Act to fire Gary Gensler. So the next hot topic of today's episode is fire Gary Gensler was trending last night on Twitter, obviously, and it's all to do with a new bill that's been proposed to restructure the SEC, which I truly believe should be a thing, and then also fire Gary Gensler, most importantly. So let's get into this one because it's a good one. You would have seen Twitter erupt last night with this news, and it's still quite popular. But yeah, let's get through it because it is pretty interesting to see, and it's all just happening. Like the past few weeks have been nuts, absolutely nuts, in the crypto space, and it's all to do with like Gary Gensler and the SEC. It's nothing to do with actual crypto. It's literally the government's just trying to step in and just ruin it. I don't know what they're doing. Well, I've got a few ideas, but yeah, let's read this article and we'll see what everyone else is thinking. Okay, so US Rep Warren Davidson has introduced the SEC Stabilization Act into the House of Representatives, announced yesterday. One of the bill's main provisions is to fire Securities and Exchange Commission Chair Gary Gensler. Now, Davidson said in a statement, US capital markets must be protected from the tyrannical chairman, including the current one. That's why I'm introducing legislation to fix the ongoing abuse of power and ensure protection that is in the best interest of the market for the years to come. It's time for real reform and to fire Gary Gensler as chair of the SEC. Now, he also declared that as his intention to introduce the bill earlier this year. He made that announcement in a reply to a tweet by Coinbase legal chief Paul Grewal. Rep Tom Emmer is the co-author of the bill. Again, you probably would have heard that name before. We've spoken about him a few times on the channel. He then said, the SEC Stabilization Act will make a common sense changes to ensure the SEC's priorities are with the investors they are charged to protect and not the whims of its reckless chair. According to Fox News, the bill would remove Gensler from office and redistribute power between the SEC chair and commissioners. It would also add a sixth commissioner to the agency, disallow any party from holding a majority on the commission, and then create an executive director position. So personally, again, I think this is just a more fairer way for it to happen rather than just being this one guy in charge. I do have a graphic. I think I've got it on one of these tweets. I'll double check in just a sec. But I did see a graphic that hopefully I've opened that kind of breaks down a little bit of what the bill will impose and how the new layout will be. And it'll make a bit more kind of sense for you. But the lawmakers did not mention cryptocurrency in their statements. Both Davidson and Emmer are known to be pro-crypto and critical of Gensler's leadership at the SEC. Emmer has, for example, called Gensler a bad faith regulator, and Davidson is the vice chair of the House Financial Services Committee's new subcommittee on digital assets, financial technology and inclusion. So these guys are well known in the crypto space because they're pro-crypto, but also they are pretty important when it comes to finance in the US. So they're not just two random guys on Twitter that are talking back and forward. They are kind of well-known names, and this act will ruffle a few feathers, but it will also potentially get kind of ruled out and come into play. So yeah. So this is the kind of initial tweet. I retweeted this on Twitter last night, but it's just a kind of what I've already read from that previous article. But I just wanted to show you 3.4 million views it's had, 16,000 retweets. So yeah, it's doing well. It's getting around. It was, like I said, trending last night. I think XRP and Ripple are going to kind of take over the trend today, but this is massive news, and this is the original tweet, like I said. So yeah, I think this. Yeah, here we go. So this is the kind of new structure. If I can get this larger, why is it not letting me click on it? Right, it's not letting me click the image. Oh wait, yes it is. Okay, so I don't know how clear that is. Oh, what's going on? Let's try that again. Okay, so I don't know how clear that is on your screen because it's quite blurry on my screen. But anyway, the new SEC Stabilization Act. So on your left, you'll see the current kind of setup where Gary Gensler is the top dog. Top G, as he probably refers to himself, but he really is not. Yeah, he's the top of the kind of chain, and then you get 4 commissioners that sit below him. Then on the new structure, what the plan would be is having 6 commissioners, so There you go, quite clearly you can see 6. And then an executive director. So the fire Gary and depoliticise the world's biggest and best capital markets. This should be a unifying, non-partisan plan to restore focus on the mission. Who will be the first Democrat to co-sponsor? So again, they're putting this out there. They really want this to be a thing. I think it makes sense because the past 2 chairs of the SEC have done crypto dirty. Not just crypto, but like finance world in general and the US. I think they are just making it worse for the US in general. Like this part here, they tweeted out, just in, SEC Chair Gary Gensler makes the US government look corrupt, according to public opinion. And yeah, I would say so. I would say that the US has never had so much attention in regards to poor like publicity and poor attention, and people kind of having a go at the country and people like China coming after them because, well, the SEC are making it easy for big countries and big names to come after them because of how silly Gary Gensler's been and the SEC. So yeah, they are making the US government look corrupt. Well, I mean, the US government are corrupt. Most governments are corrupt, but they don't like to be shown and to be proven to be corrupt. So it's not a good look for them. But yeah, anyway, my kind of point here being is that, well, what I've been saying, it seems like every day, the past month or so, that Gensler is ruining fintech for the US. Other countries will take over. I sound like a broken record, but I just want to kind of fire that home that we don't live in the US, right? People watching this will be maybe from the UK, Europe, maybe from the US, but the UK are really leading the way, and other countries across the board are really leading the way for financial technology, Web3, crypto, blockchain, whereas the US seem to be going backwards when they have one of the largest audiences, which could make such a difference to the space. They're just, for whatever reason, totally against it, and no one seems to know why, because Gensler did teach at MIT for a few years, literally teaching people on blockchain, cryptocurrencies, and essentially like publicizing and pushing crypto and adoption. So it's very weird how the puppets work in this world. But anyway, it's not great for crypto in the US. However, crypto's not going anywhere just because we're seeing all these lawsuits here, there, everywhere. Well, I say that. We've seen them the past kind of few weeks. But just because we're seeing these lawsuits and all the fear and the market sell-off and the market bringing itself back up doesn't really mean anything. It's a standard bear market kind of movement. It just so happens that this year around, Binance has been going after, Coinbase has been going after. That didn't happen previous bear market. It's more widespread news this bear market than what it was last year. Last bear market, not last year, but 2-3 years ago. It was all similar type of vibes. It was a very low vibe. There wasn't much going on in crypto. It was a bit boring. There was always kind of bad news, a little bit of positive news here and there. But this bear market's been a little bit different, where prices have been fairly okay. Like they've held quite well for long periods of time rather than just dumping and dumping and dumping. Don't get me wrong, we did see 16k Bitcoin this year, but which probably makes sense. But in a sense of, we're not just continually seeing downwards actions. More often than not, we've actually seen upwards price action, if not a bit of sideways action. So yeah, it is a long, grueling process, but patience pays, as we say. It's not supposed to be a get-rich-quick scheme. You're not going to get rich overnight, especially in a bear market, unless you're, I guess, investing in some of these meme coins or whatever it is, these high-risk things. But realistically, in crypto, you really need to be educated, you need to be experienced, you need to know what you're doing, what you're investing in, how to take profits, how to stay safe, all that good stuff that people often let kind of skim over their head and just think, I can just invest and it's fine. But as you would have seen the past few weeks, it's an emotional roller coaster. I show up here every single morning, regardless of the news, whether it's good, bad, ugly, whatever it is, because there's light at the end of the tunnel for crypto. Just because there's a lot of heat at the moment, and all these, especially this week, it's a big week. I know there's a lot going on, and there's probably a lot going on in your head as well, because you're trying to manage your investments, well, keep up with the news, plus invest more money, plus work a full-time job, and there's just so much going on. But again, I experienced the exact same feeling. I've been doing this for 6 years, and it does get tough, don't get me wrong, emotionally and, well, mentally, I guess, but the push is always forward. We don't go back in crypto, we push forward. We see what's coming, we see through the nonsense that comes out, especially from the SEC and from Gary Gensler. Hopefully, based on what we've seen the past 24 hours, hopefully we won't have to see much more of this man much longer. But yeah, like I said, we push forward, we make moves, we keep going, we motivate each other in crypto, because look, it's a very, very niche spot. Just because you know about it, I bet you couldn't name 10 people in your close friends, or maybe even 10 people that you know personally that are invested in crypto or even interested in it. It's a very, very niche place to be. So don't think that you're going crazy. Don't think that you're alone in this. Come and tune in every single day. I do these every morning, and join our Discord community where there's thousands of members in there and hundreds of active in the chat room every single day, where we all just chat. Some, don't get me wrong, some of the chat is just good, fun chat about crypto, and then we provide a lot of the updates that you need in the members update section, as well as some trades and some kind of weekly updates or some live streams, whatever it may be. We try and just kind of bring you everything that you need, some lighthearted stuff and then some mindset stuff to keep you right, to kind of share our experiences of the market. But yeah, bit of a kind of different ending to today's video, but I just wanted to kind of keep you all motivated, because I do think that this week will be a bit, not exhausting, but a bit volatile, and there'll be news all over the place. Like, there's going to be bullish, bearish, like negative, there's going to be fear, there's going to be so much news this week, and I just want to make sure that your head's kind of screwed on and you've got the right sense of direction. And if you don't, look, see if you don't know what you're doing or where to go, just make sure you're here every morning, 9:30 a.m. Tune in, watch me, I'll help you, I'll get your mind right. And yeah, I can assure you, crypto's a fun place, as long as you can kind of get the mindset right and enjoy it for what it is. But yeah, anyway, like I said, join me in Discord after this video. We'll get chatty, we'll talk about crypto and what's happening this week. And yeah, other than that, thanks very much again for tuning in to this episode of Coffee and Crypto. I hope you've all had a great video, or a great video experience. Is that even a thing to say? But I hope you've all enjoyed. This is what happens when I start ranting at the end. I never know when to wrap up. But yeah, I hope you've all enjoyed the video. My name's Don. I'm here every morning. Make sure you've subscribed to the channel. Please like the video as well today. It would help me out a lot. And turn on your post notifications so you know when this video is live, or if you're watching it back on the channel, you know when it's been posted, so that you never miss a video. That's all for me. Have a great rest of your day. I will see you again tomorrow for another episode of Coffee and Crypto.